we are at stage 4, paragraph page 218.
Mhm.
218, okay, and our last headword was doctor, Newark type of lesson.
Doctor. Yes.
Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready? Okay,
Yes,
here we
I'm
go.
ready.
First question. Okay, first question, here we go. Which is the broadest street in your town? Which is the broadest street in your town? Let's see.
ABC Street
Is the
is
broadest
the
street
broadest
in my
street
town?
in my
Wh-
town.
Wait, who is the richest person you know? Who is the richest person you know?
Elon Musk is the richest person I know.
Very good. Name me one of the poorest countries in the world. Name me one of the poorest countries in the world. Say ABC.
Congo is
Congo.
the
What?
was
Congo is
one
one
of the
poorest
one
countries
of- one poorest
in
country
the
of the
world.
world.
Wait, one more.
World.
Congo is one
Congo
of the
is
poorest
one
countries
of the
in
poorest
the world.
country in the world.
Very good. Do you like reading war stories? Do you like reading war stories? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
like
like
reading
reading
war
war
stories.
stories.
Do parents in your country read bedtime stories to their children? Do parents in your country read bedtime stories to their children? Yes or no?
Yes,
Parents in
in
my country
parents in my
read
country
bedtime
read
stories
bedtime
to their
story
children.
to their children.
Very good. Can you express a very simple idea quite well in English? Can you express a very simple idea quite well in English? Okay, one more. Can you express a very simple idea quite well in English? Can you express a very simple idea quite well in English? Yes, I can
Yes,
express
I
a
can
very
express
simple
a
idea
very
quite
simple
well in
idea
English.
quite well in English.
Do you think it's easier to express your thoughts in writing or in speaking? Do you think it's easier to express your thoughts in writing or in speaking? I think it's
I
easier
think it's
to
easier
express my
to
thoughts
express
in
my in writing
than in speaking.
than in speaking.
Very good. What's the past of speak? What's the past of speak? The past of speak
The
is
past of
spoke.
speak is spoke.
Very good. Which language did we speak during the last lesson? Which language did we speak during the last lesson? We spoke English
We spoke
during
English
the last
during
lesson.
the last lesson.
What's the past of come? What's the past of come? The past of
The
come
past
is
of come
came.
is came.
Very good. What time did you come here last lesson? What time did you come here last lesson? I came here
I
at
came here at 8:30 a.m.
last lesson.
last lesson.
Well, what's the past of break? What's the past of break? The past of
The
break
past of
is
break
broke.
is broke.
Well, did you ever break an arm or a leg when you were a little child? Did you ever break an arm or a leg when you were a little child? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
never broke
never
an
broke
arm
my arm and
or a
leg
leg when I
or
was
a
a
leg
little
or
child.
I I was little child.
Very good. What did you wear yesterday? What did you wear yesterday? I wore
I wore a t-shirt
yesterday.
yesterday.
Did I write anything on this piece of paper last lesson? Did I write anything on this piece of paper last lesson? Yes or no?
No,
You didn't
you
write
didn't
anything
write
on that
anything
piece of
on the
paper
piece of
last lesson.
paper last lesson.
What time did you get up this morning? What time did you get up this morning? I got up
I
at
got up at 5:30 a.m. this
this morning.
morning.
Did we stand up after the last lesson? Did we stand up after the last lesson? Yes, we
Yes,
stood up
we stood
after the
up
last lesson.
after the last lesson.
Where did the sun shine last week? Did the sun shine last week? Yes, the sun
Yes,
shone
the
last
sun
week.
shone last week.
Did you take any photographs on your last holiday? Did you take any photographs on your last holiday? Yes or no?
Yes,
I took
I
some
took
photographs on
photography.
my last
Photograph.
holiday.
I, I
I took
I took
some photographs
some photographs
on my last
on my
holiday.
last holiday.
Wait, did you tell me your name? Did you tell me your name? Yes, I
Yes,
told
I
you my name.
told you my name.
Very good. Did anybody in your family drive a car last year? Did anybody in your family drive a car last year? Yes or no?
Yes,
Somebody in my
somebody
family
in my
drove a
family
car
drove
last year.
a car last year.
Did you remember all the new words last lesson from the lesson before that? Did you remember all the new words last lesson from the lesson before that? No, I
No,
didn't
I didn't
remember all the new
remember all
words
the new
last
words
lesson
last
from the lesson
lesson
before
from
that.
the lesson for
Some I
that.
remembered
But some I
and some
remember
I
and some
forgot.
for
Very good. What did you see in this classroom last lesson? What did you see in this classroom last lesson? I saw some books
I saw some books, some chairs, a teacher, etc.
in that classroom
in that classroom
last lesson.
last lesson.
Very good. Where did you sit during the last lesson? Where did you sit during the last lesson? I sat
I sat here
during the
the
last
last,
lesson.
during the last lesson.
Wait, what did you eat for your lunch yesterday? What did you eat for your lunch yesterday? I ate some
I ate some bread for
for
my lunch
yesterday.
yesterday.
Very good. Did I give you a dictation last month? Did I give you a dictation last month? Yes or no?
Ye-
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
gave me
gave
a dictation
me a
last month.
dictation last month.
Very good. When did last season begin? When did last season begin? Last season
The last
began
season
on
began
the
on
month of
the month.
the
The
month uh,
last season
began
began
on
on
the month
uh,
of
the month of
what season did
the month
spring
of
start?
May.
May. Very good. What did you drink with your breakfast this morning? What did you drink with your breakfast this morning? I drank some
I drank some tea
with
with my
my breakfast
breakfast
this morning.
this morning.
How long did you sleep last night? How long did you sleep last night? I slept
I
about
slept about 6 hours
last night.
last night.
Very good. Are there any hills around your city? Are there any hills around your city? Yes or no?
No,
There
there
aren't
aren't
any hills
any hills
around my
around
city.
my city.
Very good. Do people generally laugh when they're happy or unhappy? Do people generally laugh when they're happy or unhappy? People generally laugh
People generally
when
laugh
they're
when
happy.
they are happy.
Do you laugh when you watch comedies? Do you laugh when you watch comedies? Yes, I laugh
Yes,
when I
I laugh
watch
when
comedies.
I watch comedies.
Very good. What's the opposite of the word friend? What's the opposite of the word friend? The opposite of
The
the word
opposite
friend
of the
is
word
enemy.
friend is enemy.
Very good. Were Britain and America enemies during the Second World War? Were Britain and America enemies during the Second World War? No. Britain
No,
and
Britain and
America weren't
America
enemies
aren't
during the
enemies.
Second
The
World War.
Second World
They
War.
were
They
friends.
are
Very good. Are there any old castles in your city? Are there any old castles in your city? Yes or no?
no,
There
there
aren't
aren't
any old
any
castles
old
in my
castle in my
city.
city.
Very good. Are you hungry at the moment? Are you hungry at the moment? Yes or no?
No,
I'm
I'm not
not
hungry
hungry
at
at
the
the moment.
moment.
Are there a lot of hungry people in some parts of the world today? Are there a lot of hungry people in some parts of the world today? Yes, there
Yes,
are
there
a lot of
are a
hungry
lot of
people in
hungry
some
people
parts
in
of the
some
world
parts
today.
of the world today.
Very good. Does your stomach make noises when you're hungry? Does your stomach make noises when you're hungry? Yes, my stomach
Yes, my
makes
stomach
noises
makes
when I'm
noises
hungry.
when I'm hungry.
Very good. Tell me a geographical fact. Tell me a geographical fact, please. Mount Everest
Mount
is the
Everest
highest
is the
mountain in
highest
the world.
mountain in the world.
Tell me a historical fact. Tell me a historical fact, please. The Second World
The
War
Second World
began
War
in
began in
1939.
1939.
Tell me a mathematical fact. Tell me a mathematical fact, please. 2 plus
2
2
plus
equals
2
4.
equals 4.
Very good. When you get hungry, what do you do? When you get hungry, what do you do? When I get
When
hungry,
I get
I eat.
hungry, I eat.
Do you think your English is getting better? Do you think your English is getting better? Yes, I think
Yes,
my
I
English
think
is
my
getting
English
better.
is better.
About how much does a doctor get a month? About how much does a doctor get a month? A doctor gets about
Doctor is about $15.
A
fifty
month.
thousand dollars a month.
Very good. Do you get any cards from your friends on your birthday? Do you get any cards from your friends on your birthday? Yes or no? I
Yes,
get some
I get
cards
some
from my
cards
friends on my
from my
birthday.
friend on my birthday.
Can I get clothes from a bookshop? Can I get clothes from a bookshop? No, you
No,
can't
I
get
can't get.
clothes
You can't get
clothes
clothes
from a
from
bookshop.
bookshop.
Very good. Which animal do we get milk from? Which animal do we get milk from? We get milk
We get
from a
milk from.
cow. Very good. Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room? Will you go and get a pen for me from the next room, please? Yes, I'll
Yes,
go and
I'll
get
get.
a pen for
Go and
you
get a pen
from
from
the next
you
room.
from the next room.
Very good. When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? When children are young, do their parents get them from school each day? Yes. When
Yes,
children are young,
when children
their
are young,
parents
their
get them from
parents
school each day.
get them school from each
Well,
get
get
them
them from
to school
school each
get
day.
them from school each day.
Very good. One more. Yes. When children are
When
young,
children are young,
their parents
their
get them
parents
from school
get
each
them
day.
from school each day.
Very good. Will you get that book from the table and give it to me? Will you get that book from the table and give it to me, please? Yes. I'll get
Yes,
that
I
book
get
from
them
the
to
table.
I that book
One more.
from the
I'll
table.
get that book
I get that book
from the
from the
table
table
and give it to you.
and give it to you.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay, repeat. Get to,
Get to
reach.
read.
Very good. Okay, listen. To get to and to reach are both verbs. If we get to a place, it means we arrive there. Okay, let's practice. What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? What time do you generally get to school for your lesson? I generally
I
get to
generally
school at,
get to school at
let's say,
9 a.m.
for my lesson.
for my lesson.
Very good. Okay, next listen. Before the words home, here, and there, we do not use the word to. We do not say to home, to there, and to here. For example, we just say I
For
get
example,
here
we
at 11
just
a.m.
say, oh,
Okay,
I
I get
okay.
here
I get
at
here
11 a.m.
at 11
for my
a.m.
lesson
for my
and
lesson
go home again
and go home
at
again
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Very good. Let's practice. What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? What time do you generally get home at the end of the day? I generally
I
get home
generally
at
get
about
home at about 10 a.m.
at the end of the
at
day.
the end of the day.
Very good. Okay, next listen. The verb get has other meanings besides the ones here, but its general meanings are become before an adjective and obtain before a noun. If you are not sure when to use get, it's better to use the other verbs with the same meaning. For example, instead of saying I get many emails, you can say I receive many emails. Let's practice. What are the general meanings of the verb get? What are the general meanings of the verb get? The general
The
meanings of the
general
verb
meaning
get
of the
are
verb to
become
become
and obtain.
and obtain.
But if you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If you are not sure when to use get, what is it better to do? If I'm not sure
If I'm not
when to
sure
use get,
when to
it's
use get,
better to
it's
use
better to
the other
use
verbs
the other
with the
verb
same meaning.
with the same meaning.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. There was,
Was.
there were.
There were.
Very good. Okay, listen. There was and there were are the past tense of there is and there are. For example, there was a picture on the wall yesterday. There were some pictures on the wall yesterday. Okay, let's practice. Is there a picture on that wall? Is there a picture on that wall? Yes, there's a
Yes,
picture
there's a
on that
picture
wall.
on that wall.
Was there a picture on that wall 3 lessons ago? Was there a picture on that wall 3 lessons ago? Yes, there was
Yes,
a
there
picture
was a
on that
picture
wall
on
Three
a
lessons
wall
ago.
3 lessons ago.
Very good. Were there any books on the table last lesson? Were there any books on the table last lesson? Yes, there were
Yes,
some
there
books
were some
on the
books
table
on
last
the
lesson.
table last lesson.
Very good. Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? Was there a chair in that corner during the last lesson? No, there wasn't
No,
a
there was
chair
a
in that
chair
corner
in the
during the
corridor
last lesson.
during the last lesson.
Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? Were there any chairs on the table last lesson? No, there weren't
No,
any
there weren't
chairs
any
on the table
chairs
last
on the
lesson.
table last lesson.
Very good. Next, repeat. Die.
Die.
President.
President.
Very good. Okay, listen. Die is a verb. The opposite of the verb to live is to die. For example, President Kennedy died in 1963. Okay, let's practice. What's the opposite of the verb to live? What's the opposite of the verb to live? The opposite of the
The
verb
opposite
to live
of the word to
is
live
to
is
die.
die. To die.
Very. Do most people die before they're 100 years old? Do most people die before they're 100 years old? Yes, most people
Yes, most
die
people
before
die
they're a
before
hundred years
they are
old.
100 years old.
When did President Kennedy die? When did President Kennedy die? President Kennedy
President
died in
Kennedy died
1963.
in 1963.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Strong.
Wrong.
One more. Strong.
Strong.
Weak.
Weak.
Physical.
Physical.
Very good. Okay, listen. Strong and weak are both adjectives. For example, whiskey is a strong drink. People in the UK speak English with a strong British accent. People in India speak with a strong Indian accent. Physical is an adjective. For example, Mr. Brown is strong, but Jack Brown is weak. Men are physically stronger than boys. Let's practice. Is whiskey a weak drink? Is whiskey a weak drink? No, whiskey
No,
isn't a weak
whiskey
drink.
isn't a weak
It's a
drink.
strong
It's a
drink.
strong
Are
drink.
young are young boys generally physically weaker than men? Are young boys generally physically stronger than men? No. Young
No,
boys
young
aren't
boys
generally
are
physically
generally
stronger
physically
than men.
stronger than a
They're
man.
generally
They,
physically
they are
weaker
generally physically
than men.
weaker than a man.
Very good. Do you speak English with a strong French accent? Do you speak English with a strong French accent? No, I don't
No,
speak
I
English
don't speak
with a
English
strong French
with
accent.
strong French
I
accent.
speak it with
I
a
speak
Japanese accent.
with a Japanese accent.
Very good. Next, repeat. Soldier,
Soldier,
army,
army,
make money,
make money,
uniform.
uniform.
Very good. Okay, listen. Soldier and army are nouns. A soldier is a person who fights in a war. An army has many soldiers in it. So if one person, it's a soldier. If many soldiers, they are called army. For example, I think China has the largest army in the world today. To make money means to obtain money. For example, a soldier gets a lot of money these days, or a soldier makes a lot of money these days. Uniform means same set of clothes. For example, some school children wear the same clothes. They wear uniforms. Let's practice. Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Does a soldier make a lot of money these days? Yes or no? A
Yes,
soldier makes a
soldier
lot of money
makes a
these
lot of
days.
money these days.
Which country do you think has the largest army in the world today? Which country do you think has the largest army in the world today? I think China
I
has
think
the largest
China has
army
the largest
in the
army
world today.
in the world today.
What do we call the clothes that a soldier wear? What do we call the clothes that a soldier wear? We call the
We
clothes
call
that a
the
soldier
clothes of
wears
the soldier
a
wear
uniform.
a uniform.
Do most school children wear uniforms at school in your country? Do most school children wear uniforms at school in your country? Yes or no?
Yes,
Most children
most
wear
children
uniforms
wear
at school
uniforms
in my
at
country.
school in my country.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Build.
Build.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word build is a verb. It means to make something with stones, woods, etc. For example, we can say we make a house or we build a house. Okay, let's practice. Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? Is it cheap to build a large house in the country? No, it
No,
isn't cheap
it isn't
to
cheap
build a large
to
house
build a large
in the
house
country.
in the
It's
country.
expensive.
It's expensive.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay, our reading is at stage 3, paragraph page 154. Okay,
100.
and the last headword was full, empty. Okay,
Okay.
start with the fourth question, the last one. Are the streets full
And
of people?
as a stretch full of people during the night. No, the stretch aren't full of people during the night. They are empty during the night. Can we see the sun in the sky during the night? No, we can't see the sun in the sky during the night, but we can see the moon and the stars. What color the moon? The moon the color of silver. Can we count the stars? No, we can't count the stars. Of these three subjects, mathematics, history, and geography, which do you like the most? Of those three subjects, mathematics, history, and geography, I like mathematics the most. I like mathematics the most. About how many subjects must children generally study at school? Children must generally study about 10 subjects at school. Do you like the subject of mathematics? Yes, I like the subject of mathematics. What do we do when we get up in the morning? We wash the dress when we get up in the morning. Do you dress before washing? No, I don't dress before washing. I wash before dressing.
Mhm.
What do we wash our hands with? We wash our hands with soap and water. What do we wash our hair with? We wash our hair with shampoo.
Mhm.
Is it hot in Finland? No, it isn't hot in Finland. It's cold. Is it warm in autumn? No, it isn't warm in autumn. It's cold. It's hotter in winter
Is
than in
one more?
summer.
Is it hotter?
Is it hotter in winter than in summer? No, it isn't hotter in winter than in summer. It's colder in winter than in summer.
Hmm,
Eh,
which is
ju- which is which is one of the hottest countries in the world. India is one of the hottest countries in the world, which is one of the coldest countries in the world. Finland is one of the coldest countries in the world. Is it as hot in Scandinavia as in Spain?
very
No, it isn't as hot in Scandinavia as in Spain. It's colder in Scandinavia than in Spain. What am I doing? You are tasting your finger. Do you like the taste of tea without sugar? Yes, I like the taste of tea without sugar. What do we taste with? We taste with our tongue. What's the difference between as many as and as much as? The difference between as many as and as much as is that we use as many as for things we can count and as much as for things we can't count. Have I got as many fingers on my left hand as on my right? Yes, you've got as many fingers on your left hand as on your right. Do you eat as much food for dinner as you do for lunch? No, I don't eat as much food for dinner as I do for lunch.
very
I
good.
eat less food for dinner than I do for lunch.
Very good. Okay, so we stop there for today, but very good reading, very